Hello, this is part 2 of my Esper Commander deck. We're going to continue on with the artifacts and then move right on into the colors that I have. We've got Well of Lost Dreams. If you haven't seen the first part, make sure to go see it so then you'll understand. Again, with the life gain in this deck, this is great for being able to draw all sorts of cards, to be able to do certain things with Tameo is great. Staff of Nin, I have it in here so I can keep stabbing them at the beginning of their turn if needed. And then being able to draw an extra card is wonderful. We got Sun Droplet. Whenever I'm dealt damage, I can put some charge counters on them, and then be able to gain life. Great. And the last artifact I have in this deck is Moonsilver Spear, being able to generate some tokens for me, and then later being able to equip this to one of those tokens is awesome. 4/4 First Strike generally has your opponents going, no. We've only got 2 multicolored cards in here that are not artifacts, and they are Dromar's Charm. It's letting me gain 5 life, counter a spell, or debuffing 2 from a creature until the end of turn. It's great, but the counter I generally use. Gaining 5 life I've used every once in a while, just in case I need to. It's a great little thing to use if they are taking total Armageddon on me, and taking my life down when I haven't been able to gain any. Debt to the Debtless is another great life gain card from Dragon's Maze that I love. I've run this before in a standard deck, and it works mellifluously. So we've used it in here, and it is also pretty great. We'll go on to let's go in Wooburg order. We will start with White. The first 2 spells I have in here are protection from a creature, protection from a color I control. So for this one, target creature I control gains protection from the color of my choice until the end of turn. Rebound. This is great because then I can cast it twice if needed. The next one only targets white creatures, but that doesn't really matter because I've got all sorts of creatures that are white. It gives protection from a color of my choice until end of turn. Great. We've got another one that gets me some tokens to buff, a Wingmate Rock. It's excellent. Then again, it's got a little life gain ability at the bottom. Fiendslayer Paladin, it's another creature that I'm able to buff that I love. Being able to have lifelink is something that's amazing for this deck, if you can't tell. Where should we go next? We'll go with Frontline Medic. I have actually had to use the last ability once or twice against a Cascade deck that had a card that cascaded with X in its mana cost. So, yeah. But then having my creatures able to be indestructible with its battalion is great too. Gift of Immortality, being able to keep not the tokens, but any actual creature I'm able to fight, get out on the battlefield is wonderful. Entreat the Angels gets me more of those mellifluous tokens. So I'm able to cast it for its miracle cost. I've never actually had to cast it for its real casting cost. I've only ever had to, don't have to. I've only ever cast it for its miracle cost. Blind Obedience. Love it. If I'm able to get this out early game, they just despise it until they're able to get rid of it. Indomitable Archangel, being able to give some Artifact Shroud. Woo! That's great. And being a 4/4 Flying Angel for 4 is great. in and of itself. Those pesky little creatures that they like to give just power buffs to are able to be taken rid of with this. Yay. And then even if they are quite big, then this is able to get them. It's a less powerful Oblivion Ring. Then Silverblade Paladin, Soul Bond, Double Strike, woo. If they got Lifelink, then I get to gain that. I get to gain what they deal twice. So, for instance, if I were to give this guy lifelink, then I would gain 4 life when he attacks, which is wonderful. We'll go on to blue now. We've got some removal here at the beginning with Cyclonic Rift, being able to remove everything they control. If I'm able to use its overload cost, Devastation Tide. I have actually had to cast this for its actual mana cost up there at the top, but it was always worth it. And then again, I wouldn't play this when I have anything. But even if it's only maybe one Planeswalker that I have that goes to my hand, and that's fine. Impulse, I get to look at the top 4, put 1 in my hand, and the rest on the bottom in any order. Preparation, it's great. Gitaxian Probe, I get to look at someone's hand and draw a card. If I were to put Duress in here, this would be great. With that, because then I would get to look at their hand and then take something out with Duress before, so I'd be able to know if I was wasting my Duress or not. Some counters here at the end. We'll start with Dissolve, being able to let me look at the top card of my library, being able to put it on the bottom if I wish. When I counter, great. We've got Cancel. Just being able to say nope to something is wonderful. And then Mana Leak. This is really great early game, even sometimes in the late game too, because I'm able to counter something where they've spent all their mana and then they have nothing left. It just feels great to counter things. Now we'll go on to the final color in here, which is black. Now, if you haven't been able to tell, this deck is mainly a white and black deck that is splashing blue for removal and mill. So, we've got Vampire Nighthawk. It's a great creature and excellent to buff up. One card in here that's in the black section that's removal is Doomblade. Then we've got some debuffs here that we will go through first. We've got a Dismember. It's only for the end of the turn, but generally I'm able to use it. I'm able to use it to kill something. And then Phyrexian Mana is wonderful because then I can just spend some of that extremely high life that I seem to have gained in some way. Then we've got Infest, being able to give them -2/-2 till end of turn. Again, but it's sorcery speed, so Stab Wound. I love it because then they're able to lose some on their turn. We've got Debilitating Injury. It's basically a less powerful Stab Wound. They don't lose any life, but it gets -2/-2. It's still pretty good. We'll go with Mutilate now. I don't have many swamps, but when I do get swamps, there are many ways for me to get swamps. But this is great. I'm able to at least give them -4/-4. That's what I've got every turn. Yeah, every time I've played, I've been able to give creatures -4, at least -4/-4. And we got Massacre Worm. really expensive for a quite big creature. But whenever something is put into the graveyard from the battlefield, they lose 2 life, and it's a little debuff for the turn. But he ends up being pretty great when I'm able to play him. Now we have a buff spell right here. Mark the Vampire. +2/+2 and lifelink. Again, I'm able to buff it, and I'm able to give it lifelink. I wish lifelink would work. If you were to give it multiple instances of lifelink, they'd all be able to work, but sadly it doesn't. However, being able to get something that doesn't have lifelink is wonderful. Put this on one of those angel tokens, and mwah, it's lovely. And we got some really good early game creatures now, like Dregscape Zombie. I'm able to return it from my graveyard to the battlefield and give it haste. If I have enough if I have enough mana left, then I am able to equip all sorts of stuff to it for the turn to make it a just an instant blocker, basically. And then Gurmag Swiftwing is the last card in here that we'll show. It's got all the abilities of a Chroma for quite little. It is a little creature, but as you've seen, I've got all sorts of things in here that can buff it up. So, thank you for watching these videos. Again, if you watch this and did not, watch part 1, make sure to click the link that was back there to be able to go and watch that first part. Remember to rate, comment, and subscribe, and tell me what you think of this video and what you would like future videos to be in the comments below, and we will see you later.